Mama Nuru's pot. In a quiet village tucked between dry hills and a dusty river, lived an old woman named Mama Nuru. Her back was bent from years of work, her hands calloused and her eyes tired but kind. She lived in a crumbling mud house with 3 grandchildren, children she never expected to raise but did after her mother died suddenly, and the father disappeared like smoke. Mama Nuru had no money. Her small farm had dried up with the long drought, and the chickens she once kept were lost to disease. Every morning she rose before the sun, tying an old rag around her head and walking to the forest edge to collect firewood. She sold bundles in the market for a few coins, barely enough for a handful of maize flour. Some days there was no food at all. "Grandma, are we eating tonight?" Little Sifa would ask, her belly empty and her voice small. Mama Nuru would smile, the corners of her lips heavy with sorrow. "If we have water, we have soup." She would fill the pot with water and stir it slowly over the fire. The children would sit around watching, imagining meat and spices in the boiling liquid. She told them stories then, tales of lions that could speak, stars that granted wishes, and rivers that sang lullabies. Her stories fed them in ways food could not. One evening, as the firewood dwindled and even her last coin was gone, Mama Nuru sat on the floor, her bones aching from hunger. She looked at her grandchildren, sleeping on empty stomachs, and whispered a prayer she wasn't sure anyone heard. The next morning, a young woman knocked at her door. She wore a clean dress and carried a basket. "Are you Mama Nuru?" she asked. "Yes. I used to pass your house when I was a girl. You gave me a mango once when I was hungry and lost." Mama Nuru faintly remembered the moment, a small act years ago, already forgotten. The young woman handed her the basket. "I never forgot your kindness." Inside was rice, beans, cooking oil, soap, and a small envelope with money. Mama Nuru's hands shook. She tried to speak, but tears came instead. The pot that night was not filled with just water, and the children ate until their bellies were full. Mama Nuru never became rich, but kindness, hers and others, kept her family alive.